Now there's a start screen we haven't seen in a while. Welcome back, guys. I told you I had a surprise for you today. We are all the way back in Alola in the time machine, and we have an Ultra Sun and Moon mixed tier Wi-Fi battle versus someone I found on the internet from Citra phone and also PC. Got a really cool team. I'm on the right hand side. I've got a Focus Sash Jinx, Eviolite Misdreavus, Mega Scizor, Alolan Raichu, good old standard lead offensive Golisopod with emergency exit for some little trigger mechanics, and a Minior that does not have the right moves. Sorry about that. He's got a pretty cool looking team, but let's not waste any more time. Jump into it, see how it went down. As always, thank you guys for love, support, and if you enjoy the music we're kicking in today's show, drop a comment down below and let me know. He is leading off with Talonflame, which tells me he does not understand how bulky Golisopod is, which just triggers off emergency exit for free and can bring me out into Alolan Raichu, who does not care about your Brave Birds. By the way, let's show some love for the World Championship background. It is really, really nice and very fun to actually go back and do the backgrounds for Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. So, I'm going to set up a nasty plot here as I hit him with a Psychic on the oncoming, and he actually just goes straight away for the Earthquake. Unfortunately, I'm not... I am Focus Sashed. Gotcha! So now I can just go for another Psychic, but I know this guy's got the huge power boost to Quick Attack and knocks out my Golisopod, and that is very, very unfortunate. In comes my Scizor, and Scizor hopefully is going to be able to handle this. Here comes an Earthquake, and it brings us down to 34 HP. Not too bad, not too bad. Go for a U-turn. I am a Mega Scizor in the back, but I want to go ahead and get this massive threat out of my way. By the way, the save on the right-hand side, the Grid Lion save, is actually a very common Ultra Sun and Moon save that I can provide to you guys down below in the description if you would like to play some Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon Wi-Fi battles via your phone or Citra on the PC. Anyway, he brings in this big old pumpkin who thinks it can take a combination of a Psyshock and an Ice Beam, but it cannot. It is not Halloween. It is not your time. He brings in this Toucannon, and guys, you looked at the thumbnail, you saw what it was. Toucannon is a menace. I'm going to go out to Minior to check whatever this thing wants to do. I'm predicting it to be like a Choice Scarf. I thought that was the only reason he would have brought it in versus Jinx, otherwise he would have been scared out by the Ice Beam, as he brings in Passimian now, and Passimian, I'm going to go out into my best thing to take it, which is a Eviolite Misdreavus, and it does not do that much with the Iron Head. So now, I could just sack Alolan Raichu off freely. It has done pretty much everything I wanted it to do. It got a nice hit off Diggersby, though, and brought it out of its way. So now I'm going to do a very weird play here and go into Mega Scizor here on the Iron Head. I live that because I am an offensive max HP Mega Scizor who resists the Iron Head and can roost off this damage for free. That is so, so nice as he brings out a Furfuru. A Furfuru! Man, when's the last time we've seen this Pokemon? Like, never used in Sun and Moon? Anyway, we work out the Jinx here and he gets off some leftovers. I'm not sure what this Furfuru wants to do. He goes for a Thunder Wave. I guess he pays me back for trying to hunt the shiny Heart form in Go. I was trying to get the shiny Special Valentine's form while I could in Pokemon Go and, you know, eventually use it. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. He brings in Passimian, which is Jinx is very threatened, especially being paralyzed. Iron Head is probably the neutral play and the one to go for, but he is just flinching my Misdreavus everywhere, and I'm like, okay, I am burning something. But instead, I make a double switch into Scizor, which is really weird because I don't know if this Talonflame has Will-O-Wisp or Flare Blitz. So I actually am trying to play around Flare Blitz and Will-O-Wisp by going into Minior, who, by the way, only has hidden power. Minior does nicely resist the Talonflame, so that's free damage right there. But Talonflame is... Man, do you guys remember? This was the only generation where Talonflame had its boosted Gale Wings, and it was so, so strong. Anyway, we have this matchup again, which now he ends up on Talonflame, so this time I'm going to taunt him on the oncoming Talonflame to see if he has the Will-O-Wisp. Because if he doesn't have Will-O-Wisp, then he can't really bother me too much at all, especially with Scizor. So now I just need to check and see if this guy has Flare Blitz. I do not take a Brave Bird very well from that range. I'm looking at the damage, and I need to get to a point in some kind of circumstance where I can roost up Mega Scizor so that I will be able to set up with the late game Swords Dance Mega Scizor sweep. Anyway, Minior is a perfect sacrifice here And just for cool factor, we get to see it go into shields down form here, where it breaks off its core. I hated how all the meteors were black, even though they were shiny. I feel like different shiny form colors per color hunt would have been really, really cool. So I've always preferred like the watermelon one and the cyan one, or the aqua one, just because they didn't have shiny forms other than the black. Anyway, Jinx lives on another Focus Sash, and we are praying, and we get the lovely Kiss Off. That is so phenomenal. I was so scared with that taunt play a few minutes ago, a Will-O-Wisp, so I'm so glad we got the Talonflame asleep. Now, there is another caveat to this, and that is the fact that Jinx actually needs to wake up and do something, or Jinx needs to actually break through paralysis, and do something. So there's a couple turns of full para, which is also enabling this thing to get up to, really nice HP. It is neutral with the Ice Beam, but it does do a pretty significant chunk. And from here, it does wake up and just take out Jinx. However, Talonflame has been worn down to the point that we can easily take it out after the recoil. I'm looking at it, and Misdrevious is going to come in for one last hoorah. Let me show you the power of Eviolite. Misdrevious lives it on 5 and knocks this thing out with a Hex. That is so, so important. Down goes this thing, and now Passimian can freely just take out Misdrevious. But that is fine. I am completely okay with that. I'm very curious what he wants to bring in. Oh, the threat! The Toucannon. The Toucan Sam guy comes back. Now, guys, I don't know how good Rock Blast is, but he just sets his beak on fire, and I'm like, okay, I don't know what that does. Have you guys ever heard of Beak Blast? Because I haven't. That does a very significant portion of damage to Scizor. Hello? That's crazy. I thought I was max HP. I might be max attack. Anyway, that Beak Blast brings me down to 35 because he gets a crit. So now I'm going to roost up again. I need to get to a point where either he goes for another attack or it doesn't do that much damage with Beak Blast after leftovers, after Roost recovery, so that I can set up Swords Dance and Bullet Punch the rest of his team, because his team is worn down to the fact that max HP defensive bulky offensive Swords Dance Scizor should be able to, Mega Scizor should be able to handle this. But we're not getting there. As you see, the Beak Blast here doesn't do that much. So now it's finally to the point where I can actually Swords Dance, because I know I can Roost, because I don't think the combination of Beak Blast plus Rock Blast takes me out. Oh, if you haven't already figured it out, he's not Scarfed. He bluffed that so good earlier versus the Jinx. That was fantastic work on my opponent. This Beak Blast brings me to 38, and I'm not quite to the point. Am I with a +2? We do not knock it out, and we get burned. So Beak Blast also burns. We needed another Swords Dance to break through the likes of the last remaining Pokemon. Thank you guys. Hope you guys have enjoyed the game. Thank you again for the support. You guys are incredible. That was your surprise. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. Let me know if you want to see some more Ultra Sun and Moon Citra Wi-Fi battles, and if you want to play or you need help, either the phone or the PC setup, please feel free to join the Snowpoint Temple Discord, linked down below in the description, and we can go from there. Thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, power on, power off, as we venture into the second battle in our new Scarlet and Violet series.